Today, it's the last episode of American Game Day. NFL Conference Championship games are tomorrow, and some big conference games in college basketball. All this on American Game Day. Welcome to American Game Day. It is the final episode of American Game Day for the season, and probably for a while. I'm your host, Braden Slater. Today is Saturday, January 25th, and welcome to a big day in sports. We've got Duke versus Wake Forest, our game of the week from the ACC. Duke is number 2 in the country. Wake Forest not ranked, but I think they should be. They beat Duke. You know they will be, even if if they play Duke close, I think they should be ranked in the future. But first, we got some weekday scoreboard recaps. Let's jump right into it. What happened over the week? Starting off with Tennessee beating Mississippi State barely, 68-56. And then, Ohio State pulls up a big upset over Purdue, 73-70. Oh, by 3 points, knocking off a potential top 10 team. Purdue's only 11, but some people think they are a top 10 team. Not anymore, with Ohio State getting that big win. Also, UCLA pulls up the big upset over Wisconsin, 85-83. Another rank upset for UCLA. Yep, that is a big win right there for the Big Ten. This is their first year in the Big Ten as well. Is UCLA gonna get back in the rankings? Also, UConn barely escapes Butler in overtime, 80-78. Yeah, once again, UConn goes in overtime and nearly loses. What is going on with UConn lately? Didn't they win the national championship last year? Yeah. Also, Arizona State beats West Virginia 65-57. West Virginia having a great year, finally ranked, and then Arizona State comes in and wrecks it. And then also, Illinois beats, Maryland. It's a big upset, 91-70 over Illinois. What a big upset that was. And also, last night we had Michigan versus Purdue. I recorded this before the game ended, so don't know the final score of it, but there's the final score right there. And like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show, our game of the week, Duke, number 2 in the country against Wake Forest at home. Yep. Gonna be a big game. They're not ranked. Again, I think they should be ranked. Gonna be 3:30 on ESPN. Think it should be prime time, but ESPN's gotta do their SEC prime time like they always do, like they own the SEC, I guess. Anyway, yep, that's the big game this afternoon, and there are a lot of big games too. I can't do the SEC every week or the Big 12, but yep, Cooper. Yeah, freshman guard, he's scoring 19 points a game, shooting 49%, 8 rebounds, 4 assists per game. He's a monster. Yeah, he's 49% in shooting. I think it's pretty good, He's going to be a hard man to stop. And Duke kind of tends to struggle on the road this year. But how's Wake Forest Hunter going to do? Well, he's doing 19 points a game. Also, 48%. It's pretty similar. He's got a lot more rebounds, but he's got to share the ball. Only 3 assists per game. Come on, dude. You can do better than that. But yeah, a lot more rebounds than that Duke guy, Cooper. Yeah, but yeah, and he's a senior as well. All right, let's look at our team breakdown. Our Kansas basketball. How they do against TCU early in the week? Oh yeah, they beat them 74-61. Big win for the Jayhawks right there. They're trying to get back in the top 10. Who they got today? Oh, they got Houston and Kansas. Houston versus Kansas. It's gotta be. How is this not a game of the week? Well, And you're probably thinking, oh, you said you're tired of doing the SEC. Well, this is the Big 12. I'm also tired of doing Big 12. I want to do an ACC for a chance, but this is a big game. 5:30 ESPN. It's going to be a big classic game for sure. Houston 15-3. They're first in the Big 12. But here's the problem. They have 0 ranked wins. So this is a must-win. I gotta say, must-win for Houston if they want to really have a shot at being a 1 or a 2 seed in March Madness. They do have a loss to number 11 Auburn and number 9 Alabama. So keep that in mind. All the ranked teams they have played, they've lost to. And then here we go. Here's Kansas' upcoming schedule. They're number 12 in the country. They're 4th in the Big 12. They got UCF on Tuesdays, 7 o'clock. Then they got at BYU. Little of a, well, that UCF is going to be a break. And then BYU and then Iowa State. Kansas got a hard schedule up ahead. On to the Sooners. 7:30 ESPN2. Oklahoma versus Arkansas. To me, I think Oklahoma should be ranked in the top 25. Pretty low, but I think they should be ranked. They get this win, I think they'll jump back up in there. Arkansas, well, they're looking for a win. They haven't had a win in a while. Let's look at Arkansas' season. Yep, they're 12-7, 15th in the SEC, like second to last. They did have they were on a 5-game losing streak until they beat Georgia earlier in the week, 68-65. That's a big upset for Arkansas and takes some momentum into today. So Oklahoma is once again, have a challenging game in the SEC. And then next up, they got A&M. They're known for pulling up big upsets in the SEC. Vanderbilt's been the upset king this year. And then number 1 Auburn on the road on February 4th. Oh boy. Going to be a hard schedule for Oklahoma coming in. And how did the Cowboys do? Well, they got destroyed to Arizona. To me, I think Arizona a top 15 team. How are they not ranked? I think they're a top 15 team and they're not even ranked. Beating Oklahoma State 92-78. Dang. And then they're not playing today. They're playing tomorrow against Texas Tech, 2 o'clock, ESPN Plus. Yep. Yeah, I don't have much hope for these two teams. Yeah, they're both going to be exiting out of the Big 12 tournament early on, the first round, I should say. These two teams might play each other in the Big 12 tournament in the first round. But Tech, 4th the Big 12. They might be 4th, but I mean, come on. They're 5-1 the last 6 games, but I mean, they kind of struggle against the big teams. They haven't even really played the really big teams, the Big 12 yet. Their last game, that one loss is to Iowa State, 84-85. So yeah, not a good look. But Oklahoma State, they're pretty much at the bottom. They're 10-8. Yeah, Kansas State next. Utah might have a chance. Houston, I only see 1 win on here. I think the only win they're going to beat is Utah, possibly. I really don't see a win on this upcoming schedule. But Texas, on the other hand, I mean, well, they actually did. They beat number 22 Missouri, 61-53, giving Texas some momentum, and they're fighting every time I think, oh, this is going to be the week where they finally gonna get ranked, and then they end up losing. To me, honestly, as much as I hate Texas, I do think they are a good team. They do deserve to be ranked, but they just lose the game that they're supposed to win. They just get beat bad. But they got A&M today, 1:30 ESPN2. Yeah, they got them at home though. They got them at home. But let's look at A&M's resume. They're number 13, 15-4, 3rd in the SEC. They have 5 ranked wins. Their losses to number 5 Alabama and number 8 Kentucky, but they have wins over number 17 Oklahoma and recently number 16 Ole Miss. A&M really got quite a good resume. And look at Texas' upcoming schedule. A&M, a ranked team. Ole Miss is ranked. LSU is not ranked, but they're good enough to pull off a good win. And then Arkansas, they beat Georgia earlier in the week. Georgia's good as well. Almost every team in the SEC is good. So Texas got a hard schedule coming up as well. All right, let's look at the ACC upcoming schedule. Alright, 6 o'clock on the ACC Network. Florida State versus Stanford. Yes, this is a conference game. I know I really haven't talked about much of Stanford or California, you know, during college football season in the ACC because they weren't good. Well, Stanford's actually kind of pretty decent this year, too. So, might be a good win for Stanford at home, getting a good ACC conference win. And the Big Ten, tomorrow at noon on the Big Ten Network, Nebraska versus number 18 Wisconsin. Gonna be a big good one. This game really shows if Nebraska is a football or basketball school. I think Nebraska used to be a basketball school. Wisconsin really is a basketball school, but they're number 18 now. They kind of fallen apart the last couple of years. And then Maryland and Indiana. 11 o'clock tomorrow on CBS, going to be a good one as well. And Illinois, coming off that brutal loss early in the week, is going to be hosting Northwestern tomorrow, 2 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. These are all going to be a good game. Let's move on to the Big 12. Again, like I mentioned earlier, Houston versus Kansas. This is like the big game of the week out of the Big 12, 5:30 ESPN. Number 7 versus 12. Gonna be a powerhouse classic game. It will come down to the wire. And of course, it's in Allen Fieldhouse, so you know, Kansas, it's hard to win there. I'll say that for sure. They do have a couple losses at home this year, but it's gonna be a big time game like that. I think Kansas will show up and ready to battle. Arizona State coming off a big win against West Virginia, like I mentioned earlier. They'll be hosting Iowa State, 1 o'clock, ESPN+. Can they knock out the number 3 team in the country? Also, Cincinnati and BYU are both fighting for a better chance in the Big 12, moving up to see in the Big 12 Conference. And then at 7:30 on ESPN, yep, the primetime ESPN SEC matchup, number 6 Tennessee versus number 1 Auburn. Yep, how is this not our game of the week? Well, I can't do every SEC game every week. And Duke and Wake Forest is a good game as well. But Tennessee and Auburn, gonna be good, gonna be classic as well. And then Kentucky versus Vanderbilt. Don't sleep on Vanderbilt. All right, home once again. Are they gonna storm the court if they pull up this upset? They probably will. 1:30 ESPN. And Georgia and number 5 Florida. Georgia coming off a surprising upset to Arkansas, but Florida did lose to Texas last week. So both these two teams are fighting for revenge, really, to step back up. 2:30 SEC Network. And then Ole Miss and Missouri, gonna be a good game. 5 o'clock on the SEC Network. And then LSU versus Alabama. Yep, classic rivalry game in college basketball, 7:30 on the SEC Network. Gotta be a bunch of big games ahead tonight. Alright. I think I have some NFL. Doing some NFL. Forgot, I'm not even doing college football anymore. NFL now. Tomorrow, yeah, the NFC Championship, 2 o'clock on Fox. The Commanders versus the Eagles. Gotta be a big game. Commanders are moving far. Commanders actually have a shot at going to the Super Bowl when they barely made the playoffs. Also, classic rivalry game also ahead, 5:30 tomorrow on CBS. The AFC Championship game will be the Bills versus the Chiefs. Oh yeah, Chiefs to be home, so you know the officials will have their way. Yeah, it's basically the Bills versus the officials is what I am calling it now. But let's go to the NBA now. NBA weekend. All right. 4:30 on ABC. The Celtics versus the Mavericks. Gonna be a big classic one. If the one team the Thunder cannot beat. And also, the Thunder will be on the road to the Trailblazers at 5 o'clock tomorrow on the local stations. Gonna be big ones as well. Big win for the Thunder, I'll say that. All right. It's now time for my favorite segment, the Upshot! Starting off with the NFC Championship, the Commanders versus the Eagles. Gonna be a big game. Yeah, 2:30 Fox. I I think I was just told, right before I started recording, that, a potential quarterback is, Jalen Hurts is back. He's playing. Give me the Eagles with this win. Yeah, the Eagles are winning. This is Jalen Hurts coming back. All right, and then the Bills versus the Rats, 5:30 CBS AFC Championship game. Oh yeah, for sure. If the officials do not get involved, the Bills win. If the officials get involved, the Chiefs win. That's how I'm making my pick. No, I'm actually going with the big upset here. I think the Bills, even with the officials helping the Chiefs, I still think the Bills get this win. Because all eyes are going to be on that game. And the NBA game of the week, the Celtics versus the Mavericks, the 4:30 ABC this afternoon. Woo, gonna be a good one because really, true test, I mean, the Thunder completely handled the Celtics easily, but for some reason cannot beat the Mavericks. Well, true test to see, can the Mavericks beat the Celtics? I don't think so. Celtics are going to be on the road. They're like, hey, we might not be able to beat the Thunder, but we can beat the team that can beat them for sure. Yeah, is that how that works? Yeah, I'll go with the Celtics here. Back to college basketball. 1:30 ESPN, Kentucky and Vanderbilt. This is a hard one for me because I'm considering going with the upset here, another court storming, but I don't think it's going to happen back-to-back. And Kentucky is a really good school. I think they'll get their act together. Give me Kentucky for the win here. All right, next game up on, stick with the SEC, Ole Miss versus Missouri. Ooh, hard one. This one is a really hard one to pick. They're both close in the rankings. I've had some good and some bad. Missouri is home, so that might be a plus. They tend to be better at home. Ole Miss tends to struggle on the road, but I think this is when they turn things around. I think Ole Miss is going to come into this game ready and prepared. Give me Ole Miss with this win. And then on to the Big 12. Oh yeah, Houston versus Kansas. Ready for this one? Oh yeah, this is going to be a big one. 5:30 ESPN. Number 7 versus number 12. Kansas at home. They got the fan atmosphere, but they've had a couple of losses at home. And that's why they're ready for revenge. Give me Kansas with the big upset at home. I think they might actually be favored now, so that last check. Now, and then, oh yeah, the SEC Game of the Week. Number 6, Tennessee versus number 1, Auburn. 7:30 on ESPN. Oh boy. Somehow, after Tennessee losing like 2 games the last couple of weeks, they're still at 6 in the top 10. Somehow, Auburn moving their way up. Tennessee might be competitive in this game. They might lead majority of the game, but I have Auburn pulling it out at the end, the last 5 minutes. Give me Auburn with the win. And then our game of the week, Duke versus Wake Forest. 3:30 ESPN. Gonna be a good one. Gonna be a classic for sure. Do not sleep on Wake Forest, Duke. They're gonna be coming prepared. They're at home. The fans will show up. I really want to go with the upset here, but Duke is number 2 in the country. They struggle on the road lately, but I think Duke will get the win here. And I think it's going to do it. Yep. Oh, pull up my graphic. Yep, Duke is going to win in here. And that's going to do it for the last episode of American Game Day. Possibly not ever, but for a while. And I'll do mine. Don't worry, Slate Report Podcast is not going anywhere. Every Tuesday, recapping all sports. Thank you all for watching.